Hi, my name is Nada Buhendi, and I'm an agile and technical career coach. And today I'll talk to you about how to convert interviews into offers using an agile servant leadership technique. And the technique is called the doctor frame. It's a technique that creates trusts during interviews and helps you land an offer. So before we get into that, let me share a little story about one of my clients. She landed her first agile coaching position by using this technique. And what it did was it make her stand out and create trust with the employer. I realized that what was going on with my clients and their biggest pitfall was they were acting like heroes instead of guides during interviews. And that is the reason I came up with this technique to help agile coaches and scrum masters land these offers. So what do we mean by the doctor frame technique? It's composed into 3 steps. Number 1, having that trusted advisor mindset when going into the interview. 2, identifying the bleeding neck problem of the organization. 3, sharing stories as proof of success. Trusted advisor mindset. The whole point of the interview is to create trust with the employer. People want to work with people they trust. How do they trust you? How do you exhibit that trust? By acting as a doctor. And when you're going in with the mindset of a doctor who's excited to help, then automatically all of your body language is going to fall into place. So rather than worrying too much about the mechanics of remembering to smile, leaning in, and doing all that, simply have that mindset where you're excited to help. And all of a sudden, your tone is going to be softer. You're going to be leaning in and actively listening. Your body language is going to be open, and you're going to be concise and creating that two-way dialogue, giving the interviewer the space to ask you questions and interact with you versus coming in all being in charge and command and control and showing that aggressive tone and interrupting, having that closed body language and delivering a presentation rather than interaction. 2, make sure that you're identifying the bleeding neck problem of the organization during the interview. Address the pain point and always remember, try to dig into the intention behind the question. So if an interviewer asks you, what would your friends say about you? Ask yourself, what are they trying to find out? As a doctor, I'm looking for signs. I'm reading body language. I'm trying to go deeper rather than looking at the superficial, question at the surface level. So what they're trying to find out when they ask you this question is, how are you going to fit into the team? Are you going to get along with them as an agile coach or a scrum master? So when they ask you, what would your friends say about you, you need to provide answers that demonstrate that you're an easygoing person and you can get along with people and build connections and motivate teams. 3, use stories as proof of success. Stories are amazing, amazing tools to create engagement, and they can be used as evidence. So if you were to work with a doctor, and if you were to pick a doctor, would you want a doctor who talks about their certifications, or would you rather, hear the success story of the doctor treating a patient with a similar case? Stories are engaging, and they're a technique that stand-up comedians use to engage us. We love stories and we remember stories. So be memorable by sharing these stories and providing evidence of your proof of success rather than listing all your certifications. So those are the 3 tips, and I hope you found them useful. And if you need additional help around building those engaging stories and how to build them, feel free to reach out to me. I love having virtual coffees, especially with my fellow Agile coaches. So I look forward to speaking to you, and you can find me on LinkedIn at Nana Buhendi.